Okay, hi everyone, it's Global Scholarships and I'm your host Az. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everything is going great. Today we are here with another weekly live stream. If you're new here, we do live streams every Friday here on both YouTube and Facebook, and every Thursday we do live streams on TikTok. I'm here joined by Ayman. Hi Ayman, how are you? How are things going on your side?
Hi, yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Things are going good. How are you?
I'm fine too, thank you very much. Weather is getting better and better here, much less intolerable. So everyone, basically, our live streams on Fridays are more Q&A based. So if you have any questions at any point, you can ask them in the chat. If you don't know us, we are Global Scholarships. We have a YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, we have, as you can see, a website. We have a newsletter. And basically on our website, we have quite a lot of information about studying abroad, about scholarships for international students, about in general, like financial aid, studying abroad, and etc. And you can see all of our guides here, country guides, how to apply for universities. And basically, as you can see, we have our search tool here, which is a completely free tool, by the way, to find scholarships. You can just go to globalscholarships.com. Actually, let me just share the link with you right now if you're interested, right? You can go and use our search tool. Basically, if you have anything in your mind, like a country perhaps, you can just type in United States, United Kingdom, choose what you're interested in. Or if you don't have anything in mind, you can just type in nothing and just hit enter, and it will show you the results of our like scholarships in our database. As you can see, we have like thousands. Oh, hang on, this is still United States. As you can see, we have about nearly 5,000 scholarships. Hi every day. Hi there. Thank you very much. So basically, we nearly 5,000 scholarships, and you can filter further by degree, by location, by scholarship type. Basically, we have three scholarship types. We have partial scholarships. Partial funding scholarships, basically it means it covers less than tuition fees. We have full tuition scholarships, like as obviously it covers just tuitions, but entirety of tuitions. And we have full funding scholarships, which means it covers more than tuition fees, right? And you can choose your subject that you're interested in. You can choose your nationality. Let's say I want to study for, like, I'm looking for a scholarship for PhD. I want to study in the United States, right? I want a full funding scholarship. I want, hang on, we cannot choose deadlines right now. I want to study, I don't know, data science. And I am from Turkey, right? And as you can see, we have about 60 scholarships that are open right now. Most of them are graduate assistantships, which we're going to see today, one of them. But basically, you can just find any scholarship that you are interested in, and you can just click on them to go to our page for that scholarship, which will give you quite a lot of information about that specific scholarship. For example, as you can see, scholarship summary, level of study, funding, like here we have what it covers, the coverage. We have eligibility criteria for this scholarship. We have like we have application procedure. We have deadlines. And if you still have more questions, you can just type in your questions in the comment section, and Hyun Lee answers those questions for you. And if you want even more information, under the eligibility criteria, we have the scholarship page. As you can see here, you can click on that to go to the university's page for that scholarship, and like you can read from them and contact them about that scholarship. Basically, I call it like zero to hero, meaning like you are starting from a point of zero where you don't know, you have no idea about what opportunities you have for scholarships, to the point where you can basically contact the university about a specific scholarship. Like you are so into that process. Yeah, so basically this is our search tool. I highly advise you to use it. I use it all the time to find scholarships for live streams, for our contents, etc. So basically our live streams are, as I said, they are Q&As. If you have any questions, they don't have to be about the specific scholarship, the specific school we are talking about. They can be anything about anything about studying abroad, scholarships, and etc. It can be about, they can be about your specific situation. What, like, we have a lot of people coming into our live stream saying like, I'm from this country, I want to study this, like here's my SAT score, like I know this language. Hi there, you're welcome. So you can like more detail you give us, like more like better job we can do at answering them for you basically. But other than that, we're gonna see a couple of scholarships today, basically just like showcasing a couple of scholarships that like you can find, like they're open for applications right now. So but at any point, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Again, they don't have to be about the scholarship or the school. So the first scholarship of the day. Ayman, by the way, I never ask you if you want to say anything before I start showcasing scholarships. Like, do you want to say anything about anything before we move on? Hi there.
Yeah, not really, no.
Okay, all right then. Everyone, our first scholarship of the day is a financial aid. It's at Johns Hopkins University. It's a really good university in the United States. It has a lot of Nobel Prize winners in its alumni. Basically, this is for bachelors. It's full funding, meaning it covers more. You're welcome. It covers more than just tuition fees. And as you can see, we have no specific nationalities, and all subjects offered at the school are eligible, accepted. Basically, a lot of people ask about like, I'm from this country, I want to study this, can I find scholarships? As you can see, and as you will see, most scholarships don't have any requirements in terms of nationalities or subjects. As you can see, we have deadlines here. They're way in the future. So basically, what it covers is it covers 100% of the students' demonstrated needs. Now, what does that even mean? Like, what is a demonstrated need? Basically, when you apply to this university, this goes for all financial aids, and a lot of universities in the United States have financial aids. Basically, when you apply to the university, you tell them that you need financial aid. You say like, I cannot cover all my expenses for this education, so I need financial aid. You have to tell them this when you apply for the university, and then university takes your information, like information about your family's financial situation, like their income, their tax information, and etc. Basically, there's something called a CSS profile. Hang on, let me just show you what it actually is. Yeah, this is CSS. Basically, it is a college scholarship service, I believe. Basically, you create a profile here, right? And then you give them information. As you can see, each year CSS profile unlocks access to more than $10 billion in non-federal aid to thousands of students. Basically, you give them information about your family's financial situation, and then you use this platform to apply for financial aids. All right. So the university takes that information and basically estimates how much your family can contribute to your expenses during your education. And let's say you need to have at least like $100,000 every year, right? And they say, okay, your family can cover about 40%, 40% of that. And if you get this scholarship, the university is going to cover the rest of that. They're going to give you about $60,000. Basically, it's going to cover everything that you show is your financial needs, but your family cannot cover. So basically that's it. But like, again, as I said, you have to tell them this before going to the university. So basically, when you apply for the university, you need to tell them you need financial aid. Anyway, the university is a good university, again, in the United States. Not a very large university. It's in Baltimore. There are 3 different scholarships in this university. We have information about like admission process, about deadlines here. And as you can see, tuition fees are quite high. $60,000 are high even for US standards, which is already high. Like US has the highest, kind of one of the highest tuition fees, level of tuition fees. But this is high even for United States, so about $60,000. Right? And if you want to learn more, like see where the university is or what it looks like, we can look into that on Google Maps. As you can see, it's in Baltimore, right? Here it is. It's not a very expensive place, and this is the university, Johns Hopkins University. If you want to study in the United States, it might be a good pick for you. It's good in terms of diversity either. So yeah, it's a good university. Again, has quite a lot of Nobel Prize winners in its alumni. So yeah, a good university. So basically, this is the school. If you want to learn more about the scholarship, you can, under the eligibility criteria, go to university's page for this scholarship. Now, they have this weird thing that like they almost like hide the information all the way down here. Where it is, or is it? International students frequently asked questions. Wait, no, hang on, where was it? Financial aid. Understanding financial aid. No, they also had financial aid frequently asked questions, I guess. And yeah, here it is. Okay. As you can see, we have frequently asked questions, and these cover quite a lot of the information about financial aid for other universities as well. For example, like, is financial aid available for international students? Yes. How do international students apply for financial aid? Do financial circumstances impact the admission process? As you can see, so this school is need aware for international students, meaning that financial circumstances are considered in the admissions process. Basically, there are quite a lot of universities that are need aware for international students and need blind for domestic students. What that means is, for example, I have a question like, if we are eligible criteria, we will get scholarship or not. They will evaluate, then select student. If you are, I'm not sure what the question is. Like, yeah, if you are eligible, like you have the eligibility criteria, you can apply for the scholarship. Then they will evaluate you and then select students. Also, if I got scholarship, what about the admissions? If you are talking about this, as you can see, about 10% of international students receive financial aid. But like for this specific scholarship, you apply for the scholarship when you apply for the university. So there is no chance that you will get the scholarship but won't be admitted to the university. So like scholarships are obviously more competitive than the admission process. So like if you get the scholarship, you also will get the admission. Eamon, like, correct me if I'm wrong, are there any exceptions to this rule, like where you can get the scholarship? Or maybe am I misunderstanding the question? Maybe you can get a better idea about the question.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense for anyone to get the scholarship without getting admitted, because if you're not going to study at a specific university, why would they give you a scholarship? So I think that just goes without saying. But as far as the eligibility criteria, even if you meet them, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will get a scholarship. The eligibility criteria are generally the minimum requirement for anyone to be considered for the scholarship, but they're not necessarily the optimal, whether be it like whether it's academic results or extracurriculars. So whatever you find there is just the minimum, and then based on the applicants pool, they will decide who deserves the scholarships more. So if you have an applicants pool of people who have perfect GPAs, then they would select, in addition to other things, they would select those top 10% of applicants. Provided that they also need financial aid in this case. And in the same vein, if the applicants have low GPAs, then they would consider that pool of applicants as well, so they can't really they don't have much choice there. But like the reality of things is that all applicants have great GPAs, they have great extracurriculars. These scholarships are quite competitive, so you need to take that into consideration. The fact that you meet, for example, a GPA of 3.2, and then I don't know, maybe there is an age requirement, and then maybe you have standardized tests results, maybe you have like a good IELTS result, it doesn't mean that you will necessarily get the scholarship, because there are probably people who have higher scores than you, and they will be awarded the scholarship, and you won't be in the top applicants that would get it, because the places are limited and the scholarships are limited as well.
Yeah, so like the larger the scholarship, the more competitive it is. I am bachelor's, and when should I apply? Like after completing degree or during degree? So if you're talking about like a scholarship for bachelor's degree, I don't think, because I think they're asking for like masters for another degree, like because you cannot complete, like you cannot apply for a scholarship for bachelor's degree after you complete the bachelor's degree. Like if you are looking for scholarships that you can apply for now for bachelor's degree, like some scholarships will accept that, like based on the university, based on what scholarship you are interested in. Some scholarships are available for people like who are not new students, who are already in the university, maybe like it's not your first year, or maybe you're a transfer student, but like quite a lot of the scholarships are like for bachelors. At least you need to apply for them when you are in your first year, like when you're a first year student. Eamon, what do you think about this question?
Yeah, so if you're doing a bachelor's degree, I think the best course of action is to just apply for a master's degree abroad, because there are probably more opportunities there. There are assistantships opportunities as well. So I think once you finish your bachelor's degree, you can apply for a master's degree and apply for scholarships at the same time. It is still quite competitive. The scholarships are not that available, but I think if we factor in assistantships for graduates, I think there are slightly more chances of getting funding than you would at an undergraduate level.
Right. Also, you would have more time to prepare for, like, for example, you can spend that time, use that time to learn a language, maybe like increase your like English proficiency, or maybe like you want to study in a country like China or South Korea. You can use that time to learn that language, and then you would have more opportunities that are open to you. I'm from Azerbaijan, but living in Poland. That's why when I want to find some scholarship system things, I'm from Poland. How can I change it? It all affects all results. Thanks in advance. So you are from Azerbaijan. System thinks that I'm from Poland. So basically, if you are talking about our search tool, if you are from Azerbaijan, let's say, if you are looking for a scholarship in Poland, then we don't have that many. I remember someone asking, what am I doing? I remember someone asking about Poland yesterday during the live stream. If that was you, we looked at Poland and we have like 3 scholarships in our database from the same school. But if you are looking for scholarships from other places, basically you don't have to choose location as Poland. You can just choose your nationality as Azerbaijan. Hang on. Yes. So As you can see, like there are no there are still quite a lot of results, like 4,000. Like if you're looking for a master's degree scholarship, let's say, if you have any other locations in mind, you can choose them as well, or deadlines or scholarship types. But if you're looking for a scholarship in Poland for people from Azerbaijan, then like you wouldn't find a lot of scholarships because we don't have a lot of scholarships in our database in Poland. Maybe maybe Eamon can give you better advice on Poland, but like this is what I can see from our search tool. Eamon, what would you want to say about Poland?
I don't think that was their question, probably. I think they're from
Oh, sorry.
Azerbaijan, but they live in Poland. So whenever they try to apply, I think websites detect their country as Poland, so they think they're Polish instead of so basically they don't think that their current nationality is where they live, so they're just detecting Poland. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
All right, go on.
so as far as I know, many scholarships let you select your uh, country of residence and your country of origin. And
Mhm.
I'm not sure what scholarships they're applying to, but this is generally the case. Um, there are third-party websites that are partnered with certain universities. They're partnered with certain programs, and they need to basically generate leads from specific countries.
Mhm.
And whenever, for example, someone who's from Poland is eligible for these opportunities. So if you go to a third-party website, you would find that these opportunities are available to you. But when you go to the university's website, for example, you won't find your country there because it was meant to be
Mhm.
for people from Poland. And I don't know, like that the only way you can really work around this issue is just use a VPN from your country of origin. I guess that's the easiest way to just work around this if you live in Poland and you want uh, scholarship opportunities that are tailored for your country of origin rather than where you live right now.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any other questions, just ask them. Like more detailed, we can better we can answer them for you. Right. Anyway, so let's finish this one. So yeah, basically, need-aware and need-blind. I was talking about that. Right. Need-aware means that like if you're an international student, this university is need-aware. Some universities are need-blind for international students as well. Basically, okay, we already have another question. I'm gonna look at that. Just I want to finish this one. I don't want it to be interrupted a second time. So basically, need-aware means that when you apply to a university, if they're need-aware, they consider the fact that they also have to give you financial aid, so that might be a disadvantage for you in earning the admission to the university. But if they are need blind, the fact that you need financial aid doesn't really matter. If you're gonna get admitted, you will still get admitted. Like you won't be disqualified from admission just because you need financial aid. There are some universities, some American universities that are need blind for international students as well. Like one of them was Yale University. We've seen that last week. But this one is need aware for international students and need blind for domestic students. Okay. After the question, hi, I want to see if there is a full funded scholarship that cover in visa for student and without application fee in undergraduate. Okay, that's a very specific question. There are some scholarships that I remember that have like visa. I'm gonna have to look for that. Eamon, what would you want to say about this one?
I mean, So there is one that is open right now, which is the Chevening. It opened on August the 6th. That's the UK government scholarship. That one
Just
I
get
know for a
that.
fact that it covers the visa fees. Well, it covers everything basically. So it's a fully
What
funded
did I?
scholarship that covers your uh, airplane ticket, uh, uh, like from and back to your country. Uh, it covers the visa fees. It covers a stipend. But actually, that is for I believe that is for graduate students. It's probably for masters, not for undergraduate students.
Right.
So I think it's yeah. So it is a master degree. Um, uh, yeah, there aren't many scholarships that really take into consideration the visa fees because they're generally quite low. I mean, I don't think there's a country that charges, oh, well, for student visa, maybe, yeah, it's a little bit uh, more expensive than the normal visa, but I think it's around $150, and that's why it's rarely taken into consideration uh, as far as the coverage is concerned. Um, but there are, like, as far as fully funded scholarships or opportunities, I would just consider u universities in the United States that are need blind or maybe need aware that are ready to uh, cover 100%
Mm-hmm.
of the students' demonstrated need, because those are the best opportunities you could go for. Just straight off that there is a chance that you would get full funding from the university should you be admitted or um, should you meet certain criteria. So that is your best bet if you want to find fully funded scholarships at an
Yeah.
undergraduate level.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those opportunities are, I would say, unavailable in Europe because in most countries education is free, so your tuition is covered, but you need to cover the rest. Um, and that's why the United States is my go-to country to suggest in these cases where people are looking for fully funded scholarships. Even Canada doesn't have that kind of funding for international students. There are very, very few opportunities in Canada, and that's why uh, most colleges and universities in the United States are just the go-to in this case. If you have no funding of your own and you're just looking for the university to cover everything, and maybe you have the uh, academic profile, you have everything that they're looking for.
What about university without application fee? So we have some of those, um, but like if that kind of depends on what country you're interested in. Um, Hang on. For example, if you're interested in studying in the United States, there are quite a number of universities in the United States that doesn't charge any application fees. Hang on. Yeah, as you can see, there are 32 USA universities with no application fees. You can look into these. And we also made a video about this one, but it didn't cover all of these because the list is quite too long. Also, like there are about 3, if I remember correctly, in South Korea as well, that doesn't charge any application fees. So if you're interested in studying in South Korea, that might interest you. Here it is. So you can check this one out. If you're interested in any other country, we can look into those. But what other countries are there with opportunities like this? Eamon, does any come to mind right now?
So in addition to those, I think some of the Ivy League universities and maybe some that I don't know of that would give you an application fee waiver if you request it. So
Yeah.
if you just tell them that it's a financial burden on you to pay for the application fee, they will just waive it, and you have to do that in your application or during the process of applying. I think that's one other option to consider, to just ask the universities to just waive it, and most of the time they will.
Yeah, yeah. Those are the ones that don't charge application fees in the first place, but there are also universities that will give you a waiver on those too. You're welcome. If you have any other questions, can ask them in the chat. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Financial aid. Do you want to add anything about this one, Eamon? I mean, we've been talking about financial aid for like pretty much every week,
Yeah.
or like last couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, Johns Hopkins University is quite known for being a leader in the field of medicine and medical research. And I think that most people go to Johns Hopkins for that. As far as financial aid, we can see that not many international students get it. It's just 10% of the people who get admitted, which is not much at all if we compare it to any other university in the United States. Like some give aid to probably over 50% of applicants, if not more. So 10% is very, very little. Other than that, I think for the people who I mean, see, like the picture just shows that they're also promoting their medical the course or the subject at the university. But yeah, I guess if I were to apply, I wouldn't probably apply to Johns Hopkins because my chances of getting a scholarship there are lower than other universities. So I think the biggest take from this is that if you're looking for scholarships in general, you should just look for universities that have a lot of international students and that give funding to international students, and then see the percentage of international students that got scholarships in the previous year. And if it's high, then your chances are high of getting a scholarship there. So basically, if you're paying an application fee to these universities, I would only consider the universities that where there's a higher chance of getting a scholarship. And I wouldn't, for example, consider Johns Hopkins unless like there's a good reason for that.
Okay, maybe like application fees are not that really big of a burden for you. Then maybe like for additional opportunities you might go. But again, like every application is also another fee. So yeah, okay. Thank you very much. All right, I don't see any other questions, any new questions right now. So I'm gonna move on to our second scholarship of the day, which is Cincinnati Scholarship at University of Cincinnati. This is again for bachelor students. It's in University of Cincinnati, United States. It's about $94,000. Basically, it's full funding, meaning it covers more than tuition fees. There are no specific nationalities, there are no specific subjects, like every subject in the university are accepted. And admission deadlines and scholarship deadlines are in the future. So basically, now this looks like just one scholarship, but actually there are two. One is presidential scholarship. basically it gives you $94,000 worth of financial aid, which covers your full tuition, which is about $84,000, and then gives you fees, like covers other fees, covers your like room, boarding, and a book allowance. And then there is another scholarship that is Century and University Scholarship, which doesn't cover like tuition fees and etc., but it covers about from $6,000 to $24,000 in total. So as you can see, like this is covered here too. There are no specific eligibility criteria. You just need to be an international bachelor's student or applicant. If you want to see the university, like this is the university, a large university in Cincinnati, Ohio, I believe. As you can see, we have more information here about admission process, about deadlines here. As you can see, tuition fees are quite low for quite lower than what you would expect in the United States, about $21,000, which is very affordable in US standards. Of course, it will still be unaffordable for quite a lot of people, but at least this covers it. The scholarship covers it. And if you want to see the university where it is and what it looks like, here it is. I believe it was in Ohio. Here it is. This is the university. Here we can see, yeah, in Ohio. So basically, it's it's inland, like it's not close to East Coast or West Coast. So like these places about like Illinois, Ohio, Missouri, Kentucky, even Michigan, most of these places aren't very expensive places to live. So yeah, like this covers your tuition fees, but it doesn't give you a living stipend to cover your financial expenses. But at least your financial expenses, your living costs will not be extremely high for living in somewhere like Cincinnati. So this is the school. By the way, it's not an extremely high ranking university, but it's a good school if you want to study in the United States. As you can see, of course, they are big on sports, like they love their sports, as every US university. Anyway, this is the school. So if you want to get more information about the scholarship under the eligibility criteria, we have Cincinnati scholarship pages to go to the university, right? Which will give you pretty much the same information, very concise. Basically, every year they give about $22 million in renewable scholarships. We have 10 presidential scholarships, so these are quite competitive. Like especially when you consider the school has about 48,000 students. So this covers your $94,000 like tuition fees and etc., etc., etc. And then we have this one. These are numerous. How many they don't specify, but about like $6,000 to $24,000 in total. All Cincinnati scholarships are renewed for the length of the undergraduate academic program, provided the student maintains a 3.0 GPA and completes the annual 30-hour community service requirement. So basically, 3.0 GPA is not that high, in my opinion, but you also have to do about 30-hour community service every year. But like 3.0 GPA is not that high. I think you can maintain that, but they give it to like 10 people. So like you don't have to be extremely good for maintaining this 3.0 GPA, but like it's extremely competitive. Like if your normal GPA is about 3.2 or something like that, is like you don't have quite a high chance to earn this scholarship. So, and we have more information here. A complete first year application includes Common Application. Basically, Common App, if you don't know, is a platform. Actually, let me show that to you too. Common App. This is a platform where you can use to apply to a lot of American universities. So basically, you create a profile here. You give your all your information, and then you can use the same profile to apply to different American universities. For example, we have done a application tutorial for Cornell University, which takes you from the point where you like Google Cornell University to the point that where you finished your application and you need to pay your application fee. Like it takes you through all the steps. It is done through Common App, so you can use, like, if you're interested in that, you can use the same process to apply to other schools in the United States as well, like University of Cincinnati. Like, I think maybe we should do just like a Common App tutorial, but we don't have yet. So like, if you're interested, you can see our Cornell tutorial. You can go through Common Application, $50 non-refundable application, or as you can see, as Eamon talked about, or fee waiver, and etc. High school transcript, ACT or SAT scores, these are optional, and letter of recommendation also optional. So yeah, basically this is it. Cincinnati scholarship. I mean, it's a good scholarship that covers quite a lot, about almost $100,000 worth of financial aid, but you will need to cover your own financial expenses, your living costs. Keep that in mind. Actually, you know what? Let's see cost of living. You have Numbeo here, right? Okay, it's about, I think it's about $970 without rent, and this covers your board and accommodation, so you're gonna need about like $950 at most, and of course, like, you are living as a student, so it would be probably less than that. I want to ask an unrelated question to the topic you're talking about. Sure, sure. Like we're gonna do our best. Like, if you're talking about another school, another country, another scholarships, it's totally fine. But if you have any other question, of course. Eamon, do you want to add anything about this one, since it has a scholarship?
I think it's quite a straightforward scholarship. For people who are wondering why we listed this as fully funded instead of full tuition, because it doesn't cover stipend. When we started the database, so we had this rule for undergraduate students where if a scholarship covers tuition fees plus at least accommodation fees, we would consider it to be fully funded. I'm not sure if that was the best decision, but it makes sense on some level, because whatever is left would be minimal in comparison to if the student had to also pay for rent, because that's very expensive.
Yeah.
So that's the logic behind that, for students who go to our website and don't understand why it's listed as fully funded when they don't see a stipend or a monthly allowance. The scholarship remains quite competitive, with only 10 people getting the presidential scholarship, which is the main one. And yeah, I think only students with the best profiles will end up getting the scholarship, and I'm pretty sure that it's offered to both domestic and international students. So the competition is just there's a lot of competition there, and it's another scholarship that I don't think is not worth going for unless you're really probably the top student in your country. Then probably that would make sense. But I think even if you're the top student in your country, your government would be happy to fund your education abroad, and you wouldn't even need the scholarship. So I myself wouldn't apply for it, but I think there are many international students who applied and got it. So there's no harm in doing it, since there is an application fee waiver as well, as you have mentioned. Yeah, I think that's everything to say about this scholarship.
Okay, thank you very much. So they also have this living cost kind of estimation about $18,000 per year. This has to be per year. Yeah, current academic year. But keep in mind that this doesn't, like, this also includes accommodation. So like you would have to deduct accommodation from this. So I guess it would still be about like $12,000 or something, which would be about, again, $950 every month. But as you said, like, it's so few, yeah, like 10, and like, yeah, I don't know, like, you're right. Anyway, I don't see any other questions on either side. Someone wanted to ask a question, an unrelated question to the topic we are talking about, but then they didn't. You can ask your questions. It's okay. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna move on to our third scholarship of the day. So, which is Graduate International Scholarships for Research Masters at Koç University. This is in Turkey. Basically, it's for masters, full funding, all nationalities and all subjects. There are no specific nationalities or subjects for this one. And as you can see, the deadline is kind of close. It's in August 31. So if you're interested, I highly advise you to be quick about this one. This fully funded scholarship for international students covers the following: 100% of tuition fees and living expenses and health insurance depending on the rewarding school. So basically you get these, but they depend on the school and department you will be in. So there is no specific eligibility criteria. You just need to be an international master's student or applicant at Koç University. So the university, it's in Turkey, Istanbul. It's a really good university, one of the top universities in Turkey. It's a private university, so like not quite a lot of students. There are some other scholarships as well. There's pretty much the same one for undergraduate students. We have this one, and then Graduate International Scholarships, and then Graduate International Scholarships for Research Master. I guess they're not the same. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're gonna look into that. Basically, so we have more information here: admission, deadlines, bachelor deadlines, like are passed. So here's the thing: these are not real numbers. So here it says about like $11,000 and 360,000 Turkish liras, but like I think these need updating because like Turkish economy is extremely volatile right now. So we have a huge inflation problem, and our like currency is also like foreign currency is also like very inconsistent. So we're gonna see the actual numbers, but the thing is that like these are changing all the time. Keep that in mind. So if you're interested in studying in Turkey, as a person from Turkey, I really highly advise you to keep in mind that economy is quite volatile. Like we have a huge inflation problem, so keep that in mind. So yeah, we're gonna see about that one. But if you want to see where the university is, it's basically in Istanbul. It's actually quite a good place. Like as you can see, here it is. This is like not extremely in the middle of the city either. So this is the university. It's a private university, so like the tuition fee is quite high, and like if you want to live around here, your living expenses might be also kind of high, but still like quite much better than a lot of other countries. And Koç University has really good education. It's like maybe the second or third best university in Turkey. So yeah, this is the university basically. Why is it all rainy? Anyway, so okay, we have the rest of the question now. Yeah, it's about scholarships, but in general, I'm Sudanese and I transferred from a Sudanese college to a much higher ranked Egyptian college, I think in top 100 for Middle East. last time I checked. Okay, so the question is still half. We're gonna wait for the rest of the question. Yeah, already here it is. And shortly after I left, war broke out on my country and affected my GPA a lot for obvious reasons. All right. I had a 3.9 GPA doing undergrad electronics and English, but now on my last year, pretty sure the best GPA I can achieve is about 2.5, 2.6. Now my Q is there a master scholarship that considers my circumstances? Okay, that's a very good question actually, and I'm pretty sure I do not know the answer. Eamon, I'm going to defer to you immediately.
Yeah, so there are many universities that would consider extenuating circumstances like this one, provided that your GPA was good at some point. So if your GPA was good in your first or second year, then it dropped down. They would ask you, why did your GPA drop down so drastically? And then you can explain your situation, and they would really um, take that into account. They would understand that, because uh, I know a lot of students who had even family problems that were considered. So I think in your situation, it is more understandable, and they would make certain exceptions because of your circumstances. So I advise you to, that is provided that you had good results at some point that were affected by the war in your country. I suggest you submit all your results, and then maybe uh, in your application you can explain why your results drop so drastically, and if there is no space for that, if you can't do that in the application, they will most certainly ask you to justify those results before they make a decision, and then you can tell them what happened to you.
Okay, thank you very much. If you have any other questions, keep them coming. So basically, all right. So yeah, as I said, yeah, as you can see, like we have our newer numbers here. So as you can see, yeah, these are the new numbers. So keep that in mind, that quite a lot of numbers are constantly changing. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Other than that, you can, like, if you want to get more information, you can just click here and go to the universities page for this scholarship. We have undergraduate here, which is full tuition. It covers tuition but doesn't give you more. And then we have graduate international scholarships here, and with or without master thesis. So basically, merit-based scholarships may also include other benefits like living expenses, health insurance, depending on the graduate school. Please note that, etc., etc. So yeah, basically it covers your tuition fees. So now one thing about tuition fees is that they're gonna probably be higher than, like, in dollar terms, will be higher than what you're seeing here, because the inflation is rising higher than dollar in Turkey. So keep that in mind. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a really good university. It's a really good university. And so if you're interested in studying in Turkey, it's a really good pick. But like, if you don't get this scholarship, tuition fees can be quite a burden. And also keep that in mind. Like, living expenses is constantly rising. Trust me on this one. Yeah. Anyway, Eamon, do you want to add anything about this one?
Yeah, just concerning that last part about currency conversion. So I have looked at 363,600 Turkish lira into dollars. So the current exchange is 10,835, and on our end it's 11,100. So there's just a difference of $300.
Yeah. No, I meant I was talking about like the inflation. So, like the actual numbers can increase quite fast. But like
I
also
mean,
dollar terms sometimes cannot follow that at the same speed.
oh yes, so that is definitely true. I'm not sure how often we update the currency conversion, but it's probably once a week or a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
And that is understandable since the market is so volatile and
Yeah.
the prices keep going down or up throughout the week. You can't have an accurate number every single time, but it should be close enough. Like there's a difference of about $200-300. I don't think that it makes a lot of difference in this context where
Yeah.
like the difference between $10,800 and 11,000 uh, wouldn't be much from the perspective of a student. But yeah, you're right.
Right. Um, Hang on. Actually, it's something. Okay, so I don't see any. Yeah, for example, you can see from these like masters without thesis programs, masters with thesis programs, like the numbers are not. Oh, okay. So wait, hang on. Yeah, they're actually kind of close. Oh no, they're not. Are they? Yeah, tuition for international students are about like $25,000, about $25,000, because the Turkish numbers are increasingly like insane. So that's what I was trying to say actually. So like the dollar value of Turkish lira doesn't change all that much, but the Turkish cost is increasing. So yeah, as you can see, these are about like 20, 25, 30, 40. So yeah, that was what I was saying actually. All right. We don't have any other questions. Let me just check Facebook. No one. So I'm gonna move on to our fourth and the last scholarship of the day, which is wrong link. Sorry. This is the university, Edge Hill University, but the scholarship we're gonna see today is teaching assistantships. So, it's for master's and PhD students. Now, about assistantships, we keep seeing assistantships in the United States. A lot of American universities have assistantships. Some of them are teaching assistantships, like some of them are research assistantships. We have administrative assistantships, but basically, pretty much all of them are in the United States. We don't really see assistantships in other countries all that often. A couple of weeks ago, we had one in South Korea, and today we have one in United Kingdom. So basically, an assistantship is you're a graduate student, right? And then you go and work at the university. Like it's kind of like being employed by the university. You work for like 10 or 20 hours a week. 20 hours means you are full-time. You're a full-time assistant. 10 hours means you're a part-time assistant. And then of course, the university gives you quite a lot of benefits for that. So this is in Edge Hill University in United Kingdom. It's in Lancashire, if I remember correctly. This is full funding, meaning it covers more than tuition fees, and assistantships usually do. There are no specific nationalities for this one, as you can see, and all subjects offered at Edge Hill University are accepted, and the deadline is January 31. So basically, it covers 100% of tuition fees, a salary of £13,000 every year, and an additional £5,500 for accommodation. So basically, these add up to about like 18.6 thousand pounds every year, which is probably enough to live in Lancashire. It wouldn't be, I guess, it wouldn't be enough to live in London, for example. But yeah, this is it. no specific eligibility criteria. You just need to be an international master's and PhD student. So basically, university is in United Kingdom. It's not really a huge university. As you can see, we don't have a lot of other scholarships as well. Here you can see we have admission information here, application deadline information, and as you can see, master deadlines are like open all year. And as you can see, the tuition fees are not extremely high. Like they would be on the lower side for United States, about $20,000, even less for masters. If you want to see where the university is and what it looks like, we can look at that very briefly. So yeah, this is where the university is. I think it's in, I thought it was in Lancashire. I might be wrong. Anyway, so this is the university, as you can see. Kind of an old university. If you want to study in the United Kingdom, it might be a good pick for you. Yeah, so basically this is the university, this is the school, and if you want to get more information about the scholarship, you can, under the eligibility criteria, click on teaching assistantship pages and go to the universities page and get more information, which there isn't that much, if I'm being honest. Like, it covers your tuition fees, which is worth about $20,000, and then give you an overall payment of £18,000 per year, which is aligned with the UKRI rate, which like gets updated every year. And as you can see, entitlement to sick pay, maternity, paternity, and shared parental leave in accordance with university policies and procedures, teaching experience, teaching training, subject-specific teaching mentoring. What it doesn't include: travel costs, visa costs, living costs. I mean, it doesn't cover living costs, but I guess like the stipend, like salary you are given is meant to cover your living costs. So, but like it doesn't say we're gonna cover your tuition fees and your living costs, but it just gives you a standard stipend. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the graduate assistantships at Edge Hill University in United Kingdom. How are you? Hi, thank you very much. I'm fine. We are doing fine. How are you? Eamon, do you want to add anything about this one?
Yeah, I think you've doubted yourself there a little bit, but it is in Lancashire,
Oh.
the university. Yeah, so it is. As far as the assistantship is concerned, I think there are very few opportunities of graduate assistantships in the UK in particular. So I think it's one of the very few ones that are available. I think the rest is just straightforward. It covers your tuition fees. It gives you a salary for your work. And I think the salary is probably below minimum wage, as far as I can tell. There is an annual contribution to accommodation fees as well, but I don't know. I mean, it's probably enough. I think the average rent in like places in the UK that are outside London is probably around 250, 300 a week. So that would be like, I mean, oh, it's probably way less than that. It's probably, as far as I remember, it's like 115. 115 pounds per week, so that would be around 450 a month, which makes sense, yeah. So 5,500 makes sense for the annual contribution.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
when you combine them, it's like 18, like 19,000 pounds per year,
mhm.
which like um, it's not very high. For example, especially if you're living in a very expensive place. But like, I don't think this place would be that expensive. Why am I guessing? Let me just look it up. Look it up. Hang
I
on.
mean, yeah, but
So like,
there is a
uh,
living crisis in the UK, so
yeah.
it's I still consider that to be low, uh, because that would be like you would be earning as a salary at least around 1,000 and a little bit a month, which is definitely not enough. It's way below minimum wage, sorry.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm not sure about the salary, and that's why they claim or they make it a point that they don't cover living expenses. Uh, yeah, yeah. So if you just don't factor in any extra expenses, then probably. But mhm, yeah, hmm, that is very true. I mean, transportation it alone is really, really expensive. I think like a simple bus drive, or like if you take a bus from for a short period, it would be like £2 for literally 10 minutes. So it is quite expensive to live in the UK, especially now. There's a huge living crisis, and I think a lot of things are getting more expensive by the day. So that is one thing to consider when going for such scholarships, because you think that okay, the living cost is about 150, 900, so I'll be able to live on 1,000. But more often than not, it's not the case, and you would either have to make major compromises, like in terms of everything, like your life quality, or actually get another job. Hmm. Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.